I think it's been helpful and just to how we invest in the practice, the aesthetic.
Unlike most pediatric offices, your office is clean. The countertops are not cluttered. Everything is clean.
Right.
You walk into any other pediatric office and it's a disaster. It's like a kid's room that's never been cleaned.
Sometimes a little OCD is helpful. And I do walk into the office most days and I'm just going to walk up and make sure I don't chip anything, but I'll kind of do this and just look at the floors and the ceiling just to make sure everything is where it should be. And when we get it right, we leave it. But yeah, no, I don't, I'm not a clean freak or a germaphobe, but I do think it's important for things to be a certain way and to maintain it. And if something is getting worn out, we're going to replace it. We're going to repaint. We're just going to keep it looking the same way. And the analogy I always think about is going to like a nice hotel or a nice restaurant. When you go to a nice hotel, a nice restaurant, you're not going to leave there thinking it was really nice, but that bathroom was just not good. Or I showed up and that hostess stand was just cluttered. Or you're going to feel like you're taking care of every step of the way. So
Yeah.
I want our families to feel that way.
Yeah.
Bathrooms are
I
generally important in a medical facility, especially in peds. I have my staff looking at the bathrooms all the time because if you take care of the bathroom,
Yeah.
it becomes a pigsty, and kids,
Mhm.
people have to
Yeah.
take care of it. That just shows that you care about everything else. You care about the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bathrooms are hard to keep clean when you have lots of kids coming in throughout the day.
Well,
Yeah.
Um, the other thing that just drives me absolutely bonkers is when I go to the doctor's office, pediatrician or not, I'm visiting someone, and they have the old school front desk with the glass window and they shut it.
Yeah.
Oh, oh my God. I think that is the
Yeah.
rudest. That the message is, we don't want you here.
Right.
Get out.
Yeah. If you go back to the analogy of walking into that hotel where you're a guest, you're staying in a farm, you're visiting a farm place, you want the experience to be nice, you're not going to see a glass run and people are going to greet you with a smile and the experience is there and you want to emphasize. Yes, I think a lot of ways that doctors' offices, for better or for worse, they tend to survive. Some of them are not thriving as much and they end up joining other entities, but they tend to survive. Not the same level of competition that drives businesses to improve their function. Certainly, if you walked into a nice hotel and there was that glass front and they were very impersonal to you, you probably wouldn't stay there again, or you would not write a good review. But doctors' offices will practice the way they've been practicing for decades and get by. But
Yes.
they could be doing better. But
Yes.
but
I like the instruments on the wall. It just gives me a feeling of warmth. When you go to a lot of like systems and hospitals, it feels very cold.
yeah,
It looks clean. It's very nice, but very cold. They probably have some very expensive artwork in the lobby. That's about it.
yeah.
Yeah. You could never do this in a big system.
No,
They wouldn't allow you to.
no.
And Stephen, why do you think that independent practice is the best for pediatricians and the patients that we serve?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Certainly, I don't begrudge any pediatricians who decide it's just not for them, or they've been running a practice for decades and it's just getting the practice management is complex and they decide to join an entity, private equity or hospital. But for those people that stick it out and have a strong interest in the practice management and just the running the practice, I think a well-run independent pediatric practice can outperform as far as like patient satisfaction, quality measures, employee satisfaction, any owned practice. Because at the end of the day, when we make decisions, we're always going to ask ourselves, what's in the best care for the children? Is hanging that French horn back there when people walk in, they like seeing that. That's fun. That's good to have. I like being here too. So what's in the best care for the children? And to that extent, what's best for the doctors and what's best for the support team? Because if it's good for us, it's going to make us feel better and want to practice better. And I think when you have the ownership by another group, they might focus on other things. They're looking at maybe short-term gains, or the hospital's more concerned about just having patients in their network for referrals, but not like the actual experience of the patients.